sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another remote edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And boy, are we in for a treat today, Jeff Defo DeForest.
Yes, we are.
We are here at the legendary, iconic place that is so near and dear to so many hearts, certainly of mine, and in the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group, which we simulcast on every day at noon. And welcome to the group members. Yep, we are here, the one and only Tropical Acres and proprietor. What is it? Third generation owner? Second generation owner?
I'm second.
Second generation.
Yeah, and the boys are third.
That would be second generation. We're going to be soon talking with third generation, Joe and Jackson. But Jack Studiali, welcome to the Lunchbox.
Yeah,
thanks so much for having us out. It's been a long time coming. Yeah. So how are you today?
Good. Feel good. And we're anticipating a good crowd tonight. Everything's in order. But I'm glad to be here. I've listened to it for so long, and I'm finally here.
Well, Jeff Defo DeForest, what's your? I mean, you have a long and storied history with this place. You were talking with Jack before. It has a distinction, right?
Well, possibly so. This could be the one South Florida restaurant that all three of my wives have dined at with me. We're speculating about the first one. I think in the late 80s, I probably was here because the place had such a great reputation, and the Lobster Special was irresistible. And they've been doing it for a long, long time.
I think you're right.
Jack and I know for sure, met with my second wife when John Jarris, a mutual friend of us, both of ours, couldn't have been. He likes two restaurants in Broward County in the state: Capriccio, Tropical Acres. But Tropical Acres was his go-to place, and we used to come here all the time and enjoy the dining here. And it's been fantastic. And that was over 30 years ago. So I known of Jack for a long time, and it's a pleasure. I don't know that I've ever been as excited as I was anticipating a special opening. I mean, we had a great time at Casa Calabria last week, but I'm a huge fan of Tropical Acres.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Time,
and it's a pleasure meeting all three of your wives.
Maybe a few girlfriends along the way too.
Possibly.
It's possible. Yeah, it's also a possibility, Mayo. But we didn't have to bring that
up. Well, anyway, we love coming in here at Tropical Acres, and you will too. I mean, Jack, I gotta appreciate. When I left the Sun Sentinel newspaper and I embarked on this brave new world of digital multimedia, you are right behind me in terms of throwing support to me and Jeff when we started on the radio, and now we're doing this on the internet with the live stream. So thank you for all the support. And when I talk about this place, it's sincere. I've been coming here for I can't even remember how long, but it's at 2500 Griffin Road. It's people call it Fort Lauderdale because it used to be the Fort Lauderdale unincorporated area, but
correct.
Technically now Dania Beach. But it's easy to find right off the highway, and it's older than Defo. When did it all start? And I guess how did your family get involved?
It started in 1949, 74 years ago.
Just barely older than Defo, but
yes.
Good. And you've aged
probably in better shape, financially and health-wise.
My mother's first cousin had a restaurant in New York,
Yonkers, right?
Yonkers, New York, Central Avenue,
right across from the race.
He was here on vacation, and he thought this was a possibility. He was a tourist. He was visiting, and he thought this was an option to open a second restaurant. So he did. He bought this old building, and
did it used to be a nursery around here, or was it?
No,
it was like farmland back then.
The subdivision was called Tropical Acres.
Okay.
And thus he garnered that name, and it stuck. And so much so that when he went back to New York, he renamed his restaurant in New York Tropical Acres. So now he's got the two. And then he went on and he opened one in Boynton Beach and then one in Pompano. and always some relation, a cousin, a nephew, an uncle, somebody was operating it. So it was pretty much all family.
Right.
But they've all done well. Unfortunately, they're all closed with the exception of this one. So we can take pride in that we were the first Tropical Acres, 1949, and we're still going strong. And we've got my mom and dad, who were cousins to Gene Harvey.
Okay, Gene Harvey was the original, and then your dad, Sam,
and Seal Studiali. They took over in '64 after my dad completed the he retired from the Navy after 22 years.
Oh wow, okay.
He was
career Navy.
Yeah, he was career Navy, and we had numerous ports of call. We lived in 7 different places in 22 years.
Wow.
And he had I think he had children in most of them, but legitimate.
He was busy. Yeah,
Oh, that's
okay.
good.
My brothers and sisters,
Right.
which help us here at the restaurant.
Yeah,
Marie's in the office now. Carolyn is in there.
Yeah, Marie.
My nephew Michael was a great asset. He's doing something else now, but we still lean on him when we have some problems, and he can solve them. So it's a real family affair. And then of course the staff. It's just a short time before they become part of the family. And
that's going to be part of our story today with
Good.
Jackson. We're going to get to sit down and chat with your son, Joe. And then Jackson has become like a son to you, which was a great story that Channel 10 and Jeff Weinzier featured a little while back. But we'll get into that in a minute. But first, I want to get into the resilience of this place, because you've had setbacks and fires, and every time you guys have come roaring back and rebuilt and back better than ever, right?
Yeah, there was a fire. Well, the first fire was 1964, and that's the year my uncle was not, or Gene Harvey was not going to rebuild it. That's the year my father retired from the Navy with needing a job. So so Harvey said, "Sam, you rebuild it and we'll be partners." So my dad did that in '64 with my mom, and we've been here ever since. And then we had another fire in 2011.
Right, I remember that one.
Closed us for 6 months. The fire marshal, the building inspector, they were all very helpful, but they said this is at least a 1-year project. Well, we made sure it wasn't 1 year. We weren't going to stay closed for 6 months, and that's just our makeup. We don't procrastinate. We get things done. Prior to getting the building permits, we had every piece of equipment on site, and all the building material was on site waiting for the permits. And it took 3 months. We didn't get the building permits until December 28th, and we opened in March. So it was 3 months to get the permits and all the insurance issues. But we had everything in place. So once we got them, we moved forward and got it done quickly.
And that's nice.
Rebuilt.
That's the nice part, when you actually own the property and you don't have to deal with landlords and all the third parties and such. But it's great to see that, you came back better than ever. And one last thing before we get into, we're going to have some of the food. We'll be talking some of the stories of you and your family and your sons and Jackson. And but that sign that is not here, but actually 2 miles to the east on Federal Highway, a classic neon landmark that is flashing just south of the airport. And I think everybody's probably seen it either on a postcard or a picture.
Yeah.
How did that sign come to be? And how does that work? Is it got landmark status? Do you have to pay rent to have that sitting there?
Well, I don't know what I should say.
Well, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Never mind putting any commissioners on the spot either.
Yeah, well, I think Mac is passed on.
Yeah.
Mac McEllier was here in 1949. My uncle, Gene Harvey, was on site, and he said, and US 1 was pretty much the only north-south route.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm having trouble directing people to my restaurant. So between the two of them, they said, you can erect a sign here. So we erected a sign there. Harvey did, and it's been there ever since. FPL hooked up electric. It was, at the time, neon was the thing, and it says 2 miles west and Tropical Acres, and that sign's been there ever since 1949, and it's still operating.
That's great.
It's a maintenance issue all the time because neon breaks, and it just needs to be repaired.
But it's classic.
It's in good. It is classic.
The green and pink. It's such a landmark, and I won't ask too many questions. But the fact is, Mayor Mac he passed a few years ago. He was a neighbor of mine, and I
Good
knew
guy.
him.
Great guy.
Been towed by his company a couple times, but we won't hold that against him, the family. But
Yeah.
but anyway, so no, it's just I was always wondering about that because it's become such a part of the whole scenery down there, and people I guess get confused because the restaurant's not right there, but it says 2 miles.
I keep thinking it's around the corner. Yeah.
But it's
That's
pretty
a
close.
landmark. I mean, when you pass that, and you always feel something because of people's affection for the place. The curiosity for me, Michael and Jack, evolution of the business. I mean, obviously, you've seen a zillion things change over the years, and yet you've been able to work the same formula and have it be successful. Which, I mean, there's always a lot to be said for that. And then evolution of the area.
Yeah.
I mean, how difficult was it to keep pace with both of those things?
Well, the area
over the many years you've been in existence here.
Yeah, this used to be just a residential area, and then they widened the road, and now a lot of businesses have come in. But we've changed with that, and we've actually garnered or acquired some of those business people coming in, and then some rental properties came out in the economy. I know back in the when the stock market dumped in 2008, we felt it. Construction business was booming in the 80s.
Yes.
And we were busy as heck. It was wonderful. People were making money. They had disposable income. They came in and used it with us, which was appreciated. But, I think the thing, and I just had a conversation just last night with someone, the thing that sets us apart is really you can go to a lot of restaurants, you get a lot of good food, you pay the prices range from inexpensive to crazy.
Right.
But the personal attention you achieve or that you can receive here, we lean on that, and we stress to every one of our people, the host or hostess at the door, the server, the busboy, everybody communicate with the staff.
Yeah.
And my managers, our theory is touch every table every night.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah.
If they're done with ask them how their dessert is. Say hello upon their arrival. Check on their dinner. And this is over and above what the server should be doing. And we see that coming back to us because what we've acquired is loyal people that have had some interaction with some positive interaction with somebody in the restaurant.
Right. It's a personal thing. And
and
I always use
going
the
out to
term
break bread with somebody, that is personal.
Yeah. And I use the term old school a lot, and that is a big compliment because nowadays too many of these bigger, corporations and chains, it's become computerized and they have all the floor plans and, it's when you go in, like you said, they're not making eye contact and greeting you warmly and smiling. They're looking down at a tablet, seeing which table number they're going to put you at, and they don't even say
You almost
hello.
feel like they don't want you to come in. Yeah.
So true.
Crazy, yeah.
And this place is the complete opposite, where it's retro in all the best ways. You come into the bar here for the happy hour, which have known to come in here for the happy hour every now and then.
How much money do you lose on Mayo on happy hours? Because I mean, he gets
He
everything.
behaves. Yeah. He doesn't.
No,
he
But
doesn't
he's down in those
overindulge.
$7 martinis. You got to be taking a
I
loss
just
there.
have my one, and then of
Yeah.
course tonight, Monday, Tuesday, half price wine night. We're enjoying a little vino now. But when you come into the bar and you see Nick or Ann, they'll put the napkin down. They'll say, "How are you tonight? What can I get for you?" All that immediately old school touches that
Makes a big
distinguishes
difference. It
you.
really does.
They have a 30-second limit
Mhm.
to acknowledge somebody.
Wow, really? Okay, that's
Yeah.
a great policy.
And that is old school, and that's
Yeah.
the way it
Yeah.
should be. And it's not.
They
in
might
so
not
many-
be able to walk up and get their drink order, but they have to make eye contact, or they don't have to. They're
But they
requested
should,
right.
to make eye. I'll be right with you. Something like
It
that.
and
makes
they-
you feel good about being in the place.
Yeah, and
right away.
you know what makes you feel better, Defo? At
food.
the end of the meal, when you get the check,
Oh well,
because
that's a
they
whole
don't
other
murder
thing.
you
Yeah.
here. Because again, it comes back to you guys own the land. You're not dealing with landlords and outrageous rents. And
Well, when I
you-
think
you-
of Jack and the pricing here, it's almost like when you get like a picture from like an old price list from a concession stand at a ballpark in the 40s, and you're thinking, wow, really, a hot dog was a quarter? I mean, unbelievable that you can continue to offer these kind of meals at these prices.
I mean,
You were talking about it the other day.
Well,
I mean,
again,
people's
you-
electric bills doubled yesterday.
you go to some of these places and a piece of of filet that's not even prime, that's they're charging $65-$70, and you manage to hold the line where your smaller piece of the prime rib, which is plenty for a lot of people, and then it goes still for in the 20s, and and then the bigger barrel cut and the special cut is
38.
38. Yeah, so
39.
it's. Is this something that you're cognizant of, and that that it's part of your philosophy?
Yeah, so cognizant of it, and I think it was beaten into me, or be careful. It was instilled into me when I was an apprentice here, or when I was coming up through the ranks. My father was always such that don't price yourself out of don't price yourself above your clientele. Make it comfortable for them. You don't want to see them once a month. You want to see them twice a month. And if you can hold the price, you'll see them twice a month, and you'll garner some terrific, loyal customers. But we're always, I mean, we have menus, and we do the price every week. I do the cost on every item, and I see it creeping up. Fortunately, some things have come down, but the proteins, the center of the plates, right now they're pretty steady, and we're able to hold our own. But we do have to keep in line. We also, at the same time, we get our balance sheet by every month, and we have to see, is our food cost now 42%? Whoa, that's high.
Yeah.
We can't be 42%, but many times it is.
It's a balancing act, but you guys get the balance right. And I see that right now. We have here
your heart out, Lisa
bunch of
Petrilla,
food is going to be
arriving
as well as we got Joe and Jackson on the
you
horizon.
did. Wow, you brought the prime rib.
Before they come in, I just wanted to ask, what's it like? What's it mean to you that the next generation is now here at your side, working with you, and that they have taken an interest in keeping the tradition alive? Is that gratifying?
It's super gratifying, and the best part is I am so comfortable and at ease when I'm not here, where before it was my father and I, and not that he was in. I mean, it was when we were away, there was really nobody watching the store. I mean, I had good employees, but the two guys are so honorable, so careful, and they're doing things the way
Thank you, Jackson.
we want it done.
Look at this. My God,
Look
Mayo.
at this. We got surf and
What
turf.
have we
got
here?
filet. It is gratifying. Yeah, and
certainly
what
is.
also is gratifying and making me salivate a little is
That
this
is all
food.
beautiful. Yeah, wow.
This is kind of a greatest hits collection here at Tropical Acres. Again, 2500 Griffin Road. They're open every day but Sunday. They have a butcher shop if you want to come in, and I know that was kind of a pandemic invention creation that is still going strong, and it's helped you also, sell a little more. And
that
that's always a
happened.
good thing.
Well, not by mistake, but due to the pandemic.
COVID,
We had the March 16th, the day we closed for COVID. We had $35,000 worth of beef inventory.
Oh, nice.
So we didn't know how long we were going to close. We don't freeze our beef, so we had to sell it. So immediately, that was a Monday, we decided that afternoon. We put it on Facebook and Instagram, and Tuesday morning before we came in, I heard the phone ringing as I'm coming in.
Nice.
And I immediately called Marie, my sister, and Joe and Jackson. You got to come in and help me. We're getting calls on ordering on the beef. It went crazy. So, we kept all of our employees staffed. We kept them on the payroll. They were doing different things. We had people making prepared dinners, servers, busboys.
Mm-hmm.
We had them taking phone orders. We had them running food to the cars. And those 3 or 4 months that we were closed, we were able to, satisfy
demand. Yeah, people, I would come in every week and pick up some fillets.
And it went well.
Burgers from my mom.
Lubie looks like a hungry dog looking at this stuff too. By the way,
you guys survived the fires, you survived the pandemic, and here we are now today on the Lunchbox. And look at this, the prime rib here. I always
ask
rave
him the
about
secret about the prime rib. But what is the secret? That looks so good.
He could tell you, but
it's
he'd
the
have
most
to kill you.
photogenic.
This is how you order a prime rib
I've ever seen.
Dickstein, if you're out there, I wish you could see this. I'm going to post. The ruby red interior. This is like such a gorgeous. Well, here,
and that temp is from the outside all the way in. It's not.
It's like so pink and beautiful.
That looks so beautiful.
And I'm going to withhold, but prime rib.
Start carving that up, Mayo. Don't even hold it.
We cook it. We cook it overnight. It goes into the oven. It's it's called an Alto Sham. It's a low temp electric oven. It goes in at 200 degrees. It cooks for about 4.5 hours.
You've had me on this for a while. Yeah.
But it's not finished yet. It still has to stay in there at the whole temperature of 150 for about 8 hours. Then it's finished. So it cooks. It's not finished for 12 hours. This went in at 11 o'clock last night.
This is a beauty.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. And the flavor, I should be getting something from Alto,
and you don't even need the
Sham
knife.
for mentioning
it's
that.
absolutely amazing. Yeah.
So what would you describe this
All right, I'm in on a
doneness
bite.
as? Is this a rare plus
that's
or
pretty rare.
it's rare? Okay.
Yeah.
This
We
is
call
rare,
it
yeah.
bloody.
Yeah,
I
That's the
love
way
it.
I like it. That's
Some
the way I
people
like
call it still mooing. I call it delicious, and I'm going to go in right now and thank you, Jack.
We thought Mayo would eat a whole one. You've seen him on the
Well,
show.
he
right?
may. It's
Yeah.
not over yet.
That is so tender and so juicy.
Oh my God,
It's so
that
delicious.
was good.
I can't imagine how or why anybody orders meat well done. I know people have, medical issues. This is the way prime rib is
Yeah.
meant to be. What a gorgeous.
That is
piece of meat.
fantastic.
What else do we have on the table here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in the middle is something we originated here. It's called
That looks
Surf and
great.
Turf Marsala.
Wow.
It's jumbo shrimp. Let me grab a fork here.
Yeah.
Got jumbo shrimp and pieces of filet mignon in a Marsala wine sauce over linguine. Now, you see, the shrimp are pretty good size.
Those look like the nice Gulf shrimp.
Yeah, those
right?
are 13, 15
Mhm.
pinks.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's the filet mignon, and it's sautéed together in a Marsala wine sauce
Surf and turf
over
with
linguine.
pasta, because
You
that's-
wouldn't think it would be so popular, but we ran it as a chef special a couple of nights, and it was popular. We ran it for chef special for months, and finally it was accepted so well that we ended up putting it on the menu, and it's a permanent item, and
And
people
it-
look forward to it.
pays homage to your Italian roots. You got the
Yeah.
pasta, you got the Marsala sauce. It's
Yeah.
different. It's something you don't see
Yeah.
every day, even at Italian restaurants. It's one of the things that makes Tropical Acres Tropical Acres. Of course, the Twin Lobster Special is another summer
Yeah,
tradition.
you're familiar with that.
I am
Yeah.
intimately.
Well, and you have the hash browns here and all kinds of stuff. And Mayo's favorite, the cream spinach on the side.
Yes.
You get all this as part of the meal, which is amazing, with the price of an entree. But that has to be better than the prime rib that you had at your bar mitzvah at Leonard's at Great Neck.
Oh,
At
absolutely.
great expense, I would imagine. That was more like, back then it was probably like $60 a person. And that is fantastic, Jack. Unbelievable.
No,
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, a
And the
signature
lobster,
dish should be that, and that is
Yeah.
a signature dish.
it is a signature dish.
Yeah.
It's all good. Again, the Twin Lobsters, that's something that you do every summer, and now it's $39 for these beautiful pair of the Northeast. It's either Maine, Nova Scotia comes in from those
Still
Atlantic
mushroom.
waters, and
Yep.
it's beautiful.
They come in every day. We got 80 of them. 80 of them came in this morning.
Beautiful.
Very
And
nice.
again, you can't beat the special. I mean, $39.
$39
comes with the salad and
Yeah.
the side dish. All part of the philosophy here of, you guys are in the yes business. I don't understand why some people, look, it's not the shiny new toy on Las Olas, but this is a place that if you want quality and value and service, I tell people you got to come to this place. And I got to appreciate your maturity about it, because you say, all right, maybe some people were not for everyone, and if there's other places, but you just do what you do, and everybody should appreciate it.
We're
I don't
not-
understand people who don't.
We're not the new fad that's going to, kind of filter, just go away in 6-8 months or a year and a half. We've got longevity. We give the customer what they want. The prices, we maintain the price, but we do not skimp on the quality. Nothing here, you can't get it anywhere better. You can get, there's some steakhouses that sell that filet, but none of them sell it at any better than that
No,
one.
no.
Now,
Prime
that's
rib
the surf and
outrageous, yeah.
turf. That's the filet mignon and the
Lobster tails.
two lobster
lobster
tails.
tails.
Lobster
Beautiful.
tails, which are always
Yeah.
available.
This is delicious, by the way, Mike Mayo. You
I'm
haven't
gonna
tried
dive
that.
in there in
You
a
really
second.
need to indulge.
You know what we need to do is going to bring in Jackson and Joe in a minute. But first, let's take our first break of the day, and we'll be back.
A home run here at
Again,
Tropical Acres.
Tonight,
Unbelievable.
Tuesday,
Wow.
perfect night to come on in. It's not as crazy as the weekend.
That price on a wine.
And you can go to tropicalacres.com for the whole butcher shop specials. I think this week you're doing like a prepared chicken parmesan that's grab and go, along with the tomahawk steak I know that you offer from the butcher shop. All these things. Better yet, come in here when they open up for 4:30, happy hour in the bar, early bird in the dining room, all kinds of extra goodies, that half price happy hour for all the drinks, including the premium stuff. You can't beat it. They have the light bites, like those sirloin sliders I love at the happy hour for at the bar. And then you come in here, the main dining room, half price wine. And don't forget the loyalty reward card, right?
You're covering everything.
I do it quick.
Yeah,
you do this every day.
He has some that actually are subject to the statute of limitations.
I have 6 of them scattered around.
Like from 1958.
I always find one in a drawer
and
somewhere.
that, again, is old school.
It's got 6
we use a
punches
punch
in it.
card.
You use the actual
punch.
With a special design that can't be replicated.
We had to have that die made
yes,
to make that special punch. Otherwise, people would be punching their own
they'd be
cards.
doing their own cards here. You can never don't trust.
You like being on the Long Island Railroad where you used to punch the tickets yourself. Yeah,
but for every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get the 13th one on the house, up to $35 value. It's one of the things that makes Tropical Acres so special. Come on in, 2500 Griffin Road, and then we'll be back to talk and meet Joe and Jackson right here at Tropical Acres on the Lunchbox after these words. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. With a huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, daily specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day, open 7 days until late, parking available on site, happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at arubabeachcafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. We're back. All right, there's the theme song. We're getting our stuff together here. We're on the Lunchbox. We are, it's a special treat at Tropical Acres. And now Jack Studiali is joined by his son, Joe, and Jackson. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for having us out. Jack, why don't you talk, just tell us a little bit about the people sitting to your right.
Okay. Well, Joe, he's the middle kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, he's our middle child. And after FIU, he came to work for us, and we love having him here. And he's moved up through the ranks. He actually in high school he was a busboy.
Something just happened. Yeah. Dude, Lubie, it's off. What is going on? We're out. Why is this happening? This is going on. Hold on. Is it a plug? You're on.
Yep. There we go.
There you go.
All
Okay.
right, we're on. Do I need to? All right. Sorry, guys. We had a little technical hiccup. Jack, continue. Go ahead.
Somebody pulled the plug out.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're back. So Joe's been with me for how long?
I've been here since 8, peeling shrimp.
Oh,
Bussing.
you mean 8 years old?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you child labor. Yeah.
Child labor.
Anyway, I told you, I said you got to come back when you're 16, so you're legal.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he worked as a child. But as management, he's been doing that for about 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he and Jackson pretty much have the run of the place. And I have felt such that I can start backing off. And I've been here 50 years. I started with my dad in 1973, and that's 50 years ago. And I'm just now feeling like I can move away and enjoy this, the 5th chapter of my life. But anyway, the boys are doing a great job. I call them boys. I know they don't mind me calling them boys. They'll always be my boys.
That's nice.
And the gentleman next to Joe is Jackson, who is we refer to him as my son, and
He's family.
I think he
Definitely.
knows us as family. These two guys, they get together and they act like brothers. Do you fight like brothers?
100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
But they love like brothers too.
It's
They're
good.
they're close.
When you work together and all that, it gets a little bit. It is like a family.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think the nice thing is when I get a little prickly, they can compare notes and they can put the other one at ease if I'm getting a little bit unreasonable, you might say.
No, that doesn't happen too often. No.
Okay.
So tell me the story, Jackson, of how you came to be here and work here and now a partner here, right?
Yeah. So I was looking for employment when I was 15, and I had a family member that worked in the kitchen, and so I tried to see if they were hiring. So Jack was asking if he was hiring. He said, "I do need a busboy," and then he found out how well I was. He said, "You got to be 16 to work here." And I came back on my 16th birthday,
Which was months later.
So, yeah, it actually was almost a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on my birthday, August 5th, 1998.
I find that pretty impressive. So
That is, he was
come
determined.
back when you're 16. So 8 months later, you come back and go ahead. And then you remember me.
Oh, yeah. And then he said, yeah. And he asked me for my paperwork, and it went by fast. And here we are. It's going to be 25 years in August 5th this year.
That 25 years since you started here.
That's correct.
And you worked your way again, also like everybody in the family, do a little bit of everything,
course.
bussing the tables, serving, cook. I know that Joe does some cooking now too, right? So
Oh yeah, been
yeah.
Jackson
Jackson was
does
very- yeah.
also.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
every part and piece of the whole operation, and but you're at your best now when you work in front of the house. Both of you guys work in greeting guests, and
Of course.
one of the things we love about it, we were talking about with Jack, is just the touches, human touch, where you have to go around and you shake hands and you make eye contact and you smile. And do you find that it's I guess the restaurants can be challenging with some of the guests, as we see on the Let's Eat group. They can be sometimes a little bit persnickety, but do you
But
enjoy all that?
on the other end, though, it's that's the highlight of a lot of the evenings is when you see the regulars. You know where they sit, you know their likings. You already have that rapport with them, and it just builds every time they come. And just to see that and how happy they are, and the enjoyment that we give them when they come in, it gives that. So the nights that are maybe go a little rough, or those nights are that with the guests, make it that much more pleasurable.
Yeah, I think that's what separates us from a lot of places. The personal, how we are personal with all of the patrons that come through the door, knowing their names, like Joe said, knowing what they like, the service that they like to sit with, and when they bring their friends in and they want to impress their friends, that we look forward to that, because that's what keeps us going.
Yeah. And well, you got some fame. I mean, after being spotlighted on the Channel 10 segment
It's all Jack's fault.
with Jack, and so just tell me what the reaction was to that, and what the people they saw it, obviously.
Yeah, I'm a low key guy. I'm not just saying that. So the attention, you can't see me blush, so that's the bad part also. But seeing all the people walk up and say, "I saw your story and I was inspired by it," and I always say, people don't know. They see the place, they don't know what's going behind the scenes, they don't know the ins and outs. And I'm not the only one, and I don't want to put him on the spot, but there's so many other people in the restaurant, in the kitchen, and different places that the restaurant have helped, like we don't broadcast, and then this just happened to happen in the way it did.
I know that Jack is a very charitable guy and
Yeah.
civic minded, and all the organizations and all the donations and things. He's humble. He's not going to talk about
No,
that,
no.
but
You get to heaven by being humble.
yeah, but but this story is heartwarming. And is your given name Jackson?
Oh yeah,
So it just happens to be
Yeah.
that Jack and considers you a son. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of
it gets
weird.
confusing.
It was meant to be.
It
Yeah.
gets confusing because apparently all three of us sound the same on the phone sometimes. So when they're calling for Jack, and I said, "No, it's Jack's son," they say, "Oh, Joe? No, it's Jack's son."
Who's on first?
Yeah, so it gets a little confusing.
That's funny. Yeah, we're here at Tropical Acres, and it's a place that if you've never been, you really got to come in, because it's a South Florida classic. And I had the opportunity over the weekend. I was up in Tampa. I went to the Columbia restaurant, which is Florida's
nice.
oldest restaurant,
Yeah.
1905.
Wow.
Right
Wow.
behind that, Joe's Stone Crab down in Miami Beach, 1913. And then here in Broward, in terms of like oldest, like continuously family owned and operated restaurants, I think Tropical Acres Steakhouse is the longest running
Yes.
since 1949. And again, it lasts that long for a reason, people. I didn't get the details. How many seats, how many covers do you do on like some of your busiest days?
Wow.
And how many staff overall between the front and the back of the
Well,
house?
we've got about 70 staff on payroll.
Mhm.
That's mixed with 28 servers, 7 busboys, 5 or 6 dishwashers, assorted prep work, bartenders, and then cooks and maintenance. We seat a total of a little over 400. The main dining area, which we're sitting in, 250-ish. And then we can also do about 200 in the banquet rooms. And we have banquets very often. We have a separate kitchen that handles the banquets so that it doesn't interfere with the dining service.
Yeah.
And banquets are a big part of it.
Yeah, no, and it's one of the things that all the time people on the group Facebook group that now has 113,000 people on it. They are always asking about, where can we hold a rehearsal dinner or a function or, a large affair or retirement party. And my answer is always Tropical Acres, because you got all these banquet areas.
I remember
and
a
dining
conversation. It was mid-85, 1985. I was having with my dad, or actually he was having with me. And he was always mentoring me and always teaching me, and whether by, what he did or what he said. And he says, we have to separate ourselves from all those other restaurants. And sometime in the summer, it gets slow. And not every night is going to be a money night. So we have to have an advantage. So we started building banquet rooms. So we built one, we built two, and then we built a third one. And 1992 was the last one we built. And we've, about 24% of our sales are now banquet sales. And that really separates us from so many other restaurants that just have to depend on their dinner trade.
Yep.
And you've been in restaurants that have 5 or 6 tables at some nights, and I feel sorry for them. Yep. But we might have a few more than that, but then we got a banquet of 100 in the back. Yeah. So we really, you crack the nut or you break, it's good for us. And it was good foresight on my dad's part.
Mm-hmm. The other nice part is you have plenty of parking spaces, so it's not like you have to pay another $10 for a valet server and all that stuff. Service, you could just come on in, park your own car, walk in. If you have special, if you need access, there's plenty of handicap
parking. Last night was we went to Las Olas and had a great Noodles Panini had a great meal there.
Mm-hmm. But it's tough getting the parking spot down there.
Yeah, we drove around, we found a spot, and I paid $8.
So what's the busiest day? You usually close Sundays, but I'm guessing, is Mother's Day your biggest day of the year in terms of numbers, Joe?
I would say Mother's Day and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The two heavy hitters.
How many you do there? Like 12, 1400? About 1,400 tops covers, which gets a little bit hectic.
We actually, by design, we've reduced that number.
Correct. Okay.
We don't want to do 14 anymore.
You want to have a good guest experience.
Yeah. We have, by design, lessened the tables. We've taken tables out. Mm-hmm. Some of that was due to COVID. The other thing was at the end of a night like that, anybody working feels like they went 5 rounds with Mike Tyson. They really do. And I use that as an example. And they all looked at me and said, "Oh, you're right." Yeah. But we don't want them to feel that way. I'd rather do $200 or $300 dinners less,
right,
and have
feel good at the end of the night.
The biggest winner is the customer's experience. Is much improved.
Yeah,
it's not get them in, get them out, get them in.
It's that whole mentality of not trying to squeeze every last nickel out of everything, because that's
we used to have Mother's Day, and then we did 1,500 dinners. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're doing 1,100. We're as happy as could be.
We'll take it all day.
Joe, let me ask you, because this is a tough business, and a lot of children of people who are restaurateurs end up breaking away and going in a different direction. What was it about the business that kept you that kept you here, and not just doing it out of a sense of obligation, but I get it, I get the sense you really enjoy this whole hospitality.
It is tough. I mean, it is one of the toughest businesses I think are out there, with just hours and time, holidays, weekends. So it is something you have to love. And I did it, like I said, when I was young, and I was, it's kind of ingrained in me. And and then you start to, the longer you're here, the more you appreciate what happened. And especially, like I said, it was always a silver lining when we had our fire. Knowing what my father went through when, he was doing it with his father when they had the fire in the 60s, and building it, getting your hands on everything, and just being a part of the building, as opposed to just, hey, this is my family running it, and, kind of get thrown into it. You really have an appreciation for it. So
keeping something going now, it means something. Mm-hmm. It's really special. And I love it. I love these kind of places where you could trace it back generations. And same thing, Columbia Restaurant, where I was, it's 5th generation, same family ownership, and that continuity, it's a rare thing these days.
It sure is.
Jackson, a couple of years back, I don't know if if Jack had a milestone birthday. I seem to recall him saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna, step back a little bit." He didn't use the R word. He didn't say he was retiring, but he said, "Yeah, I'm not going to be in here as much." And then every time I come in, he's like, not just in here, he's like slicing meat, trimming meat. He's building shelves in a store. He's like,
last week.
Did you tell him that he could like kind of relax and take it easy? And you got this now, or what?
Joey and I have a joke because we listened to him
I didn't know this.
pretty much lie to people in the lobby, saying that how he steps back, but he really does not step back. He's here more than he should be, and we give him, we kind of like joke around about it, but we try to tell him to step back, but he does not. He's not.
It's not in his nature,
No,
and you know what?
no.
It keeps you going, I guess,
No.
right? You gotta feel.
No.
Yeah,
He keeps saying that he's stepped back, but it's not true.
okay, I won't be in tomorrow, guys.
So you heard it. You heard it from us, okay?
Mhm.
I'm getting a massage tomorrow.
All right, good.
Okay,
And he
good.
plays a little golf. He goes on cruises. He is kind of relaxing and kind of traveling a bit.
Maybe 10%.
All good. Guys, I again appreciate so much everything that you do here. Every time I come in and my family, my daughter comes with her mom quite frequently. My brother and sister-in-law, they're in here, and I hear nothing but, oh, it was great. We had the best experience, the great prime rib, the key lime pie. Everybody has their favorites
Key lime
here.
pie.
Yeah,
And
you're
you guys
mentioning
bake.
all those good things. man.
Yeah,
It's
you
great.
bake. Some of the
Oh, yeah.
desserts you bake in house here. You're known for
Yeah.
specialties.
And we're a result of our staff. I mean, Rosie making the key lime and the tiramisu and the cheesecakes, and Glenn grilling, and George,
Props to Glenn for this
our-
perfect
thank
meal.
you.
Yeah.
It
He
was
did
great.
great
and
job.
George, our chef, who happens to be in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
He took he's on-
Conference?
oh,
No,
in the
just a-
conference. Yeah, yeah. He's on at a conference.
The blackjack
But,
table conference.
He'll be back. And the thing about loyalty. Now he's on vacation for 10 days. He's not due back till he's coming back into town tomorrow, Thursday. He's not due to work until next Tuesday. He had the foresight to look ahead and know that on Saturday
We're shorthanded. Yeah.
we're shorthanded. And you were working the parties and you were working the grill.
Yep.
And I was alone. Well, I wasn't alone. I had my wife and maybe Taylor at the desk. So we were shorthanded. And he had the force or the loyalty to say, hey, look, can I work Saturday? I said, yeah. When are you getting back? He said, I'm getting back Thursday. I didn't know it was so soon. So he volunteered, he offered to. And then actually Rivera offered to work Saturday. He's on vacation.
It's always nice when people step up to the plate.
Yeah. And Taylor said, yeah, if he's working, I'll work. So
that's not how we do it on the lunchbox. If it's the weekend, I'm saying I'm not doing anything.
but that's
that's the pride they have in the keeping the
we
reputation
give
going.
a lot, but we receive it back. Yeah. In like not in monetary, but in ways like that.
Yep.
So it's all fantastic here at Tropical Acres. We're going to take another break. We're going to let you guys go because we know we got to prep for the evening meal service. And mainly, I want to spare you the sight of I'm going to start getting into these lobsters in the last segment. It could get ugly. I'm not going to request a bib. I'm going to have
I have one on
Defo
the
come
side for
back
you, man.
on.
Yep.
We're going to have Lubie come in. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the current events going on in the world, but I'm going to dig into the lobsters, spare you the indignity. But thank you once again for this tremendous feast. And it's just a pleasure to finally be able to get in here and do a show and sit and talk after all these meals and years together. So, guys, keep up the great work.
Thank
for
you very
having us.
much.
Thanks for having
Appreciate it.
And before we go to break, Lubie, I just want to put in the good word. Dine Out Lauderdale is coming up August 1st through 31st. I don't know if you guys signed up, but it's going to be
We didn't make a
scores of
decision yet
restaurants
on that,
around
did we?
Greater Fort Lauderdale. And
Dine
it
outside
is
Florida.
not just the upscale restaurants like Tropical Acres with multi-course meals at discounted prices, which you can get here every day with that lobster special, $39. We could get that on the Dine Out Lauderdale, get them. But the promotion is such that these restaurants, August 1st through 31st, will be offering spectacular deals. And it's not just restaurants. It'll be places like cafes and even ice cream parlors. We're going to be out at Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor in Dania on Thursday, unveiling their new Dine Out Lauderdale special. It's going to be their patented kitchen sink for one. They're calling it a solo sink. The kitchen sink for one. Usually it has to be groups of 4, but for Dine Out Lauderdale, you could get one. Just eat it for $18.95. It's part of the deals that you're going to find. Go to dineoutlauderdale.com. You'll see all the offerings, and yeah, it's going to be a great time for eaters out there. All right, we'll be back after these words. And again, thanks to Jack, Joe, and Jackson. Tropical Acres, open every day but Sunday. Come on in and say hello.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. This August, Visit Lauderdale invites everyone under the sun to indulge in the annual Dine Out Lauderdale promotion. This year's options will be more diverse than ever, with fine dining restaurants, casual eateries, and even your favorite cafes and ice cream parlors part of the mix. From August 1st through 31st, scores of restaurants will be offering multi-course meals at discounted prices starting at just $45 per person. Diners can also enjoy sweets and treats, brunches, happy hour specials, and exclusive culinary experiences. This year's lineup includes 3030 Ocean, Foxy Brown, and Lasso Gaucho in Fort Lauderdale, Even Keel Fish Shack and Aruba Beach Cafe in Lauderdale by the Sea, Cafe Max in Pompano, The Cook and the Cork in Coral Springs, Union Kitchen and Bar in Wilton Manors, and more. Restaurants are being added by the day. For the full Dine Out Lauderdale lineup and all the details, go to dineoutlauderdale.com.
Look at you, man.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
We're back on the Lunchbox, and just in time to eat.
Feasting. How did I do, boys? I mean, I was trying to be on my best behavior with Jack. He's a class individual.
You definitely stepped up your game a little bit.
I used
today.
my fork and knife.
Yeah.
I didn't reach over and grab out of anybody's
You weren't
plate.
disgusting.
I wasn't disgusting.
Yeah.
But now that Jack and Joe and Jackson are back in the
You've
kitchen.
let
They're
your Mayo
getting
hair
everything.
down, yeah.
And now I got one of these lobsters, which they have.
What are you going to do with that thing, man?
Well, I'm going to eat it. But, you know, a lot of people are intimidated when they get like a lobster that's in the shell. They don't know how to go about cracking it,
Pretty
doing
simple to
things.
deal with, yeah.
Well, they do the work for you here. They've already split the
Oh, they
tail
did?
down the
Okay.
middle. You know, they've kind of done some of the cracking on the claws. And what you do with the lobster is pretty simple. You
Now, do you eat the green stuff? I
break
mean,
off
how
the
deep
two
do you go?
claws. I can go pretty deep if I need
Okay,
be. You know,
all right.
you take off these legs, and some people, you know, start.
You eat them just like that? Wow.
They suck
unbelievable.
out. There's some sweet meat in the legs, and you
That,
know,
that was
now
your
that-
first disgusting antic of the
now
show.
that Joe
Right,
is gone,
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
Jack is gone, everybody's gone. So it's like, you know,
It's
the
circus
the
time with
cat's
Mayo?
away, and they look, they crack them. So all you do is you kind of
Great, yeah.
you twist the knuckle so that comes out there, and then you kind of just you pull the meat out.
I have to get involved with one of
And
these, man.
here, look, the claw comes out, everything, the tip
Yeah,
and
it's clean.
everything.
That's
There's
nice.
a little bit of cartilage in the middle, like a stone crab. You dunk it in the clarified butter. You move your microphone up so you don't get the butter on the mic. And
There
then
you go.
Fuck,
Here you go,
delicious.
Libby. I'm going to give you half of
And
this.
then
Okay. Whatever you
the
say.
tail,
I'm fine.
you just snap it
That's
off.
watching Mayo.
Here's your lobster
And there
tail.
might be
Thank
some
you.
of that green stuff flying all over the place in a minute, and you could kind of go in there. And
You eat the green stuff,
Look
too?
at this.
Oh, my
This is
God.
happening.
Mayo. Wow.
Oh,
This
thank
is,
God you waited for them to leave.
here's your TikTok moment.
The
You did it.
tail, and again, I'm so glad that they're not around to see this. This one was a pregnant woman because you see they have the eggs. The
Jesus.
roe is in there, that little red strip. I'm not going to eat the roe. I am
Okay.
just going to tear out that beautiful piece. Oh, and I'm spitting, and
No,
yeah, I
everywhere.
got sweet. Oh, the
Oh, my
tails are
God.
flying all over the place. This is where the rubber meets the road.
You didn't
here.
use the butter?
Oh, yeah, you can use the
Well,
butter.
I'm saying you weren't using the butter. You were just drinking it.
Nah, well, I was eating.
You were
the-
going to drink
I
the
was
butter?
drinking the
No, he was
seed.
drinking the lobster.
Oh.
And again, you could squeeze a little lemon on it if you like it a little tart, but I just dunked it in the clarified butter. And let me go in here and maybe do a whole tail in one bite,
I'm so
one
videoing
bite
this,
mayo.
There you go.
And you guys can discuss the business of the day, whatever that
the
is.
merits of the world. Look at this. This is fantastic. My dad loves
Delicious.
lobster. I've never seen
Yeah.
anyone eat it the way you eat it, though. The way Mayo eats a lobster is really more gross than the way he eats a sandwich.
I think you're right about the idea, though. I don't often agree with you about some of your stuff because you're so weird. But the surf and turf combo, if you had
Yeah,
one
it's a nice
person
moment.
here ordering the prime rib and then one person getting the lobster special, you're in business, man. Because half of the prime rib and one lobster, that's off the chart.
That's a good way to go. Somebody's, I don't know, you
Let's
owe
Defo.
somebody money
Let's
there?
measure the
Defo?
force.
Did you lose on
I've
the game
been
last
making a
night?
couple of advertising pictures for the show while you were chowing
Oh,
down on
nice.
that
Okay,
lobster
good.
here. And
Oh.
people are returning my calls, which is good.
That's always a good thing.
Only to say, hey, listen, lose my number.
Yeah,
Of course.
exactly.
You haven't called me in 12 years. All of a sudden, you have exclusive marketing rights to something sensational, which
Exactly.
is the way I'm pitching this thing.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. yeah.
The lobster is delicious. I mean, I can't believe, you know, I sing the praises every day for a reason because
Yeah.
this place, to get like two of these lobsters like that for a full dinner for $39, and you come in and then you get a piece of prime rib like
yeah,
that.
I'm not a prime rib guy. Like my dad loves it. It always looked too rare for me. I know why it's rare because this is fantastic. Like this, the flavor of this is amazing. Not only the flavor of the meat, but the au jus is.
I mean,
has
it's
a really nice
juicy
touch.
and it's beautiful. And when you cook it rare, medium rare, you still, get all that good beefy flavor as opposed to cooking the heck out of it or
Mhm.
ordering like Dick Steen did. But, all right, we'll let that lay.
It is what it is.
How could Dick Steen blow this order, though? That
Yeah,
tells
that's
you
what I was gonna
something
say.
about
It's
this
pretty
man.
I was
easy.
trying to warn him. I was giving him the look. I was like, you don't want to do it like that. You want to get it like nice tender cut, rare, medium rare. It's
Yep,
perfect.
yep.
And I'm glad that Defo finally sees the light. That I'm not always right, Defo. Just 95% of the time. And you come in here.
Well, you're right for you. I mean, everything is subjective in this racket. Which,
Of course it is.
true.
Yes, but there is, even though things are subjective in the food world, there is demonstrable, like
Yeah, there's things that are
objective,
better or worse.
like
yeah.
you can say factually that this place is great value, that it does serve quality food,
Mm-hmm.
they do take pride in their great old school service, and that's what separates Tropical Acres from the others, and it's why it's going on its 75th year, and we love them. We appreciate them having us in. I don't know if they appreciate me coming in tearing up a lobster like
Yeah,
that.
no,
did,
you're
but,
crazy.
but be that as it may,
that gets back to the question: is it better to be loved or feared? I know they love you here, but I think there's a small fear factor.
and the thing is, you go in, and when you make your way to the restroom area, you see my review for the Sun Sentinel pinned right on the wall, because I wrote an ode to Tropical Acres back when I was the critic, because it's one of those places I think can be overlooked, underappreciated, because it is not new, the shiny,
It's not the
new,
flashy
trendy,
I mean, if
flashy
you're looking
place.
for glitz, like you say, and some kind of electronic music playing, and maybe like a glamorous fish tank in the front, you're not necessarily getting that. But for what it is, it's fantastic, and it's not like you're sacrificing anything by coming here, because the restaurant's fine.
You're good at math, right?
Yeah.
Do some quick math for
Yeah.
me. All right. Twin Lobster Special 39 plus you get like a medium cut that they call the queen cut prime rib. I think it's like $36 or $38. So
All right.
let's call it 38 plus 39. What is that, like?
We're at 75, yeah.
right? And then a half price bottle of wine tonight, where you get what's what usually is like a $42 bottle of wine, which
For
is
20?
a perfectly good wine. 20. So what? Add that
Two
all
people out of here for $100. You
That's
leave
crazy.
25 for the server at least.
Yeah.
And,
You're gonna have food to take home. To be really honest, if you get all
Buck
that.
and a quarter. You're having like an
You can't
unbelievable
beat
dinner.
that. The
Yeah.
regular cut prime rib, $36. So 36 plus 39 is 75. Plus 20 on wine, 95. You're out of here. Everything.
Taping everything,
Steak
130.
and lobster dinner with a good bottle of wine for a buck.
120.
120.
Tax and tip.
I mean, this is why I will die on this hill.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to denigrate this place and they go on Let's Eat and they
Come
say,
fight him right here.
Come
outside
fight
the
me.
door. Yeah.
Okay,
Come fight him.
I know food. Look at me. Even Jack was saying.
He said, "Look at me."
I think you might have
I
eaten
know
enough.
food.
You might have-
Look at me.
Look at me.
I remember when a gym coach said to me in 6th grade, "What have you been doing besides eating during the summer?"
They don't
I am
even have
like
to
the
say it.
universe. Defo. I'm like the universe. I'm constantly expanding.
Yeah.
And
You got to get back on the walk of life. I mean, you just
I got to
have
get back
Yeah.
to something. But I'll get back to this lobster. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to
Lobster's
get
great.
out of here.
That's it?
Tomorrow we're going to be at Even Keel Fish Shack, and it is going to be another spectacular.
Did you see
boat
what's
show.
happening there though? They blocked off the street.
I did not see that. All I
Okay.
know is that Brad said
When
that
I
we're good
drove
to
by
go.
there earlier, I don't know if it was because it was too early. They still had like the shutters on the outside,
of the
and that
of the
street
whole
is
street.
it's blocked off to traffic, but not to walkers.
All right, well,
So it's a little bit weird what's going on there.
we'll sort
And
it all out.
you know what they're doing? They're doing a nice expansion. I think they're knocking the street out of that section, and they're just
They're
going to
gonna
have
make it like
outdoor tables for all of the
Oh,
restaurants.
it's going to
there.
be like
Going to be really, really
pedestrian
nice. Yeah,
promenade,
Yeah,
where it's kind
very
of
nice.
like in Europe. You see some of these town squares. I think that block
That's Lauderdale by the Sea.
it could be shut off to vehicular traffic. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that's a great block, Aruba Beach Cafe,
Wow,
and of course our friends at
nothing
Even
like a
Keel
Maine
Fish
lobster.
Shack.
I'm
No,
telling you,
there is nothing
a
like
Maine
a
lobster.
sweet, especially in the middle of summer, July, August. I'm gonna go out. Oh, I'm having a stroke. Enjoy every
Did well,
lobster tail.
yeah. Eat the rest of that prime rib. Bun.
Thanks again to the Studio Alley family and Jack,
Tropical
Joe,
Acres.
Jackson, Tropical Acres, Dania Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Griffin Road. Come on in here. Get yourself a Twin Lobster Special. I don't even know if they have any sandwiches. I say enjoy every sandwich. Enjoy every
You can make a
rib.
prime rib sandwich out of the leftovers the
Filet
next day.
mignon.
Yeah.
Make a lobster roll.
Beautiful.
All right. That's going to do it for today. Thanks, guys.